Hello everyone, I am back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video in which I take on Stage 2 of the Supreme Magnificent Battle Next Generation Saiyans Edition versus Trunks, and the missions to beat the stage and beat it with at least 4 Bond of Friendship characters. So with that being said, I will get right into the fight as I go ahead and use supremely powerful characters. It doesn't necessarily feel like I'm taking on a challenge mission with restrictions here, just because this category is more stacked than you probably might initially think it would be, just because a lot of the Gokus are on here, and thus you are able to beat this category mission fairly consistently, but I won't want to say easily until I really see how hard this Trunks fight ends up being, if you know what I mean. So, with that being said, let's just get right into things here with these characters as I go ahead and have fairly consistent rotations here with some good slot 1 characters showing up, and on turn 3 I should have the Super Saiyan 4 duo also protecting me from harm's way on that turn, so that's going to be fairly decent outlook on my turns, especially in a fight like this. So again, this shouldn't be too bad. I honestly thought this mission would be more difficult because I was like, oh no, Bond of Friendship, but as you can see, the team is quite a bit more stacked than you would think. Quite a bit more stacked, but let's just pause and take a second, all right? Let's pause. Let's just pause for a second and realize how much damage this Trunks is doing. No. Let's seriously pause and take a second and realize what just happened there. Okay? Trunks did 670,000 to Vegito after super attacking. The Green Goku took that much damage. I'm not sure how to respond to that. Let me check his kit. Yes, he straight up just has that much damage reduction. So how did he take that much damage? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that happened, if I'm being perfectly honest, but if I can get through this rotation quite cleanly, then I should have the capability to harbor myself through the next rotation quite succinctly, just because I am able to get all this damage in. Then afterwards I am able to go ahead and cook, maybe get the revive on this next turn, and really just get things rolling with these super attacks, and then try to wrap up this fight very quickly, as this is still just short content at the end of the day. I am able to exploit things like that and then have my turn 4 active skills, transformations, all of those really good shenanigans that I can think of for sure. But Goku's gonna take a super attack. 90% damage reduction, by the way. I want to make this clear. 90% damage reduction, by the way. I want to make that clear. 90% DR, by the way. 90% DR, by the way. I'm fairly positive that's 90% DR, by the way. So, yeah. This fight seems fairly tough. Fairly tough.
Vegeta.
As I pushed on Bond of Friendship and saw what I got, so... Ooh, that's actually quite nice. I like that. But before we go into this rotation, I'm going to check, because these two are non-Bond of Friendship. You on bond of friendship. You are on bond of friendship. Yippee. You. Bond of friendship. There. Bang. And then you. Bond of friendship. There we go. It's because of the Goku. The Goku is having it. And of course, that's the benefit of these tag mechanics, right? You're able to get stuff like this off. So that's really quite something special. Now it's all comes down to my dodge luck. It does kind of rely on how good my dodges are about to be. Because, well, let's just see. Because if my dodge luck is dodge lucking, then I should luck out. I should be able to just tank all of this and be good and fine and dandy. But if I don't, that's going to be a problem. Quite significant problem, I might add. So, that's definitely going to be something that I'm going to have to deal with, for sure. Like you to dodge? Yeah. Okay. That's something to keep in mind, I guess. Okay. Well,
this fight's not over yet.
do I even want to use the Vegito active skill then?
If I quit now, I'll betray that trust. I refuse to let all of them down.
I told you we needed a plan, yet here we are.
Oh, relax. I'm sure we'll find a way. We always do.
Sure, except for all the times we've died.
Chat.
Could it be?
These 90% damage reduction units are taking damage in these fights. Do y'all realize how ridiculous this is? Do y'all realize how out of control the power creep is really becoming? Because it is becoming out of hand. It is really getting out of hand for real. I'm not gonna lie. It is becoming out of hand for real. So, let me go ahead and unfortunately get the Patara break in here as well. Just to have that active, and then I go ahead and transform into my transform state as well. Of course, pop the God's active skill into Vegito. Alright, a nice clean 60 mil. We take it. Go ahead and give me a good solid boom right here. Good solid boom right here. And a good solid boom right here. Dodge. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's see if I actually manage to take this home. Let's see if that happens. Dodge it. You better freaking dodge. There we go. Nice. That's really good. That's actually really freaking good, chat. That's actually really good. That is actually really, really, really good. That is really good, by the way. That is really good. That is really good. Really freaking good. Oh my days. Because if that happens, I can go ahead and get this fight clobbered in no time. But I'm going to have some high DPS output as well. So there is that. But I should have not only this here, but a lot of damage coming from this Goku as he goes ahead and floats off. But I'm going to want this boss dead in these next 2 turns anyway, so it's not necessarily something that I'm worried about for this Goku. I just have his attack stats raised just so we can do quite a bit of damage on this turn in particular. Yeah, he guards that. He eats that, chat. He absolutely eats that, chat. He does. He absolutely does. Now, does he have Skyoto? Foresees enemy super attack. So of course we want to do this. Because we want to see where that super attack is going in. Because that helps me quite a bit. Okay, he does have guaranteed dodge though. He does have guaranteed evasion. He does have guaranteed evasion. He does have guaranteed evasion. However, I don't know if I want to necessarily fuse into Vegito. But I can do this and then swap into this guy and then just do all that kind of stuff. Well, first of all, let's just go ahead and do this Goku active skill. Again, it's a little bit of chip damage right there. So, I guess if I'm not going to do this active skill, then I guess I could just do this. But I feel like I would want to fuse into Vegito regardless. Because he has pretty high stats. Or fairly high stats if so. I'm not going to want to use this active skill though. But he does gain guard from this, which is pretty good. He does indeed gain guard. I don't think I want to use the Vegito active skill though, because I should take way too much damage from this boss if I do. So I'm going to not use the Vegito active. That's not something in the cards for me. Not on this run. Not on this run. Not in this run. Absolutely not. No. The Vegito active is just, it just is what it is, chat. Some runs you can't get the Vegito active. Some runs it's not good for you. It's just not good for the body. But I have guaranteed dodge right here as he will be launching a double super straight at my face. But I should be able to take it regardless. I don't know if Vegito will survive this though. But I mean, I feel like 60% guard plus guard is going to be my best output bet. Combined with like massively raised attack and defense and all the other shenanigans coming from these fusion active skills. Yep, that's going to be guaranteed dodge too, and guaranteed dodge as well. So that's pretty nice to see right there for sure. But I'm going to go ahead and get my Gogeta to deal a lot of damage. I definitely could have brought Gogeta instead of Vegito. I feel like that would have been a better option for me to perform. For sure, so this is definitely not something I am insanely proud of for sure, but I can get the active skills and see how things turn out from here. I should perform at least a couple more supers here. I should perform a couple more supers and then I'll be able to perform a miracle. Nice, we do get the super. We do get the super. Nice, that's pretty good. You love to see that. That should be our last super. I'm fairly positive it is. Yeah, it is our last super, which is nice, which is nice, which is nice. Vegito should launch a couple supers here. Or I don't think he's a super demon. I'm pretty sure he is not. I'm fairly positive he is not a super demon. But we'll see, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. This does raise his defense quite significantly though. So we should have quite high output from the Mr. Man Vegito himself. It's going to be good. We do get one crit counter, which is actually quite significant. We do love to see it. And his attack and defense are lowering over time, which is very good. You love to see that. That's actually quite significant here. As his attack and defense is lowering, we can kill him easier. So we can go ahead and launch this active skill right here, along with this active skill, to go ahead and shaboink a lot of damage in. And since it's his first turn, he does have a high chance to have a lot of damage reduction. He does have damage reduction rate 77%, but I don't necessarily trust that. How much attack does he have? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much attack and defense he has. I'm not sure how much attack and defense he actually has, so I'm not too certain how much I want to trust his key orbs here.
I could just put him up front and charge him with the task of taking 2 super attacks. That might be what I would like to do. For sure, because he has a great chance of nullifying enemy super attacks, and with 77% damage reduction, he should be good to go there as well. So I'm going to try and have a little bit of faith in my cards and see what happens when I do. We'll see. He does take double digits from that normal. That's pretty good. That's pretty freaking good. I might attack break one of the supers. That will put my mind at ease. Oh my goodness, this is a more stressful run than I thought it would be, chat. I'm not even gonna lie. This is definitely a very stressful run. Very, very stressful run. Puts a lot of weight on my mind, thinking about how much his normals do. But it's been a couple of turns since I've gotten into this phase, so... However, he does indeed counter the super. Nice. Let's go. GG easy. Bang. Get pranked. They have like 80%. They have like a lot of damage reduction. That's all I'll say. They have a lot of damage reduction. So of course we're gonna want to get the additional super. If you can additional super, that would be nice. I would like you to do it for me, please. Pookie Bear. Okay, it's fine. The gods, my goats, will wrap up. And with that being said, I could feel my heart racing throughout the entire run. This is a boss that gets significantly weaker as the fight progresses, but his attack stats are enough to threaten a full power Super Saiyan Goku, the Tech one. So it is very, 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 very impactful of a boss fight. Do not think that was easy. That was quite tough and significant to go through, but I was able to beat it, so let's freaking go. With that being said, hopefully y'all enjoy this video. I got the no item done. Let's go. GG easy, am I right? I cleared stage 2 and cleared it under the special conditions of Bond of Friendship. Now, this might seem scary, but really it's one of the easiest category missions I've ever done in my entire freaking life. And let's see what stage 3 is. Siblings Bond should be a little bit harder than freaking Bond of Friendship, because as I just explained, Bond of Friendship is like the easiest category mission Dokkan Battle has ever designed. But we do have beasts like this guy, of course the new LR, but if we don't have to, I don't necessarily need to take him into an event like this just because of the fact that I would necessarily want to have him with his conditions out, and I don't want him to get necessarily frauded. But I feel like Siblings Bond would be a team where I would want to take a lot of these new characters in, but that's neither here nor there. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. I definitely could have brought the Gogeta as my lead instead. I feel like that would have worked a little bit better just because of this unit, how he handled the fight in here. He got pretty frauded out, and of course I couldn't use my active skill because I was worried that it wouldn't be necessarily enough for me to have defense in this fight. I feel like he would have gotten slaughtered if I used the active skill. Definitely a lot of fights where even Super Vegito, you're actually thinking about using him. And, you know, my goats did well in this fight for sure, especially my boy UI. Having the guaranteed dodge felt really good. That is something that I really like about the after this character's revival skill is activated. However, he does have the stat boosts for a character or a revival skill for an ally. However, if it's his revival skill specifically, he will get guaranteed dodge. So that's actually really freaking good. And of course, Int Evolution has the same mechanic, but it's not nearly as strong. Let's go take a look at what I mean real quick. He just guards. Like, after he revives, he guards. That's not the same thing as getting guaranteed dodge. No, it is not even close, I'd have to argue. But with that being said, the Global Dokkan campaign is raging strong here for freaking sure. So it's definitely going to be a blast of a celebration. But as you can see, my voice is chilling down right now for freaking sure. It is definitely going into a rest time for sure. So with that being said, I'll get on out of here. And of course, we have the banners coming for these guys. Honestly, I'd say this might be blasphemy, but I don't know. This banner looks like a huge skip to me. The only reason I benefited from it is because I got the new main shiny LR pretty fast, but there's not too many interesting things there. And of course, the discounts for all of these banners have ended, and they actually extended the banner times of all of these banners until the 18th. So they actually did move the dates of when these banners end, which is actually quite clutch. I'm not even gonna lie. We do love it, although this is not discounts. Don't think it's discounts. It's just for the summon points, which haven't even been implemented into the game yet, which is just a banner where you summon for a recent character from Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. So that's definitely something that could shaft you, and I don't necessarily think you should be going for that specifically, but the EX part is on. We are having these new fights. I feel like stage 1 was pretty simple. Stage 2 definitely made me think a little bit, and stage 3 is going to be absolute pain because of the category mission. Perfect Cooperation Team Battle, that new stage is just going to be hard just because it's, quite difficult. Unless if there's a gimmick to it, which I will be researching that. I hope there's a gimmick to the stage, because if not, the stage at face feels pretty bad to play against because of how genuinely difficult it gets for freaking sure. But with that being said, we'll get on out of here, and before I do, I'm going to look at this and see if there is a gimmick. Be aware that Gotenks will become more powerful as the battle progresses. He will be weakened if you collect a certain number of rainbow key spears. Okay. So, with that being said, it seems that you need to collect rainbow key spears in order to weaken the Gotenks. That's the whole entire gimmick of the fight, so that's definitely something you want to think about. And of course, you have this. There is going to be more. There's going to be more. Don't get so excited. There's going to be more. There is going to be more. Included those I'll be at in the future. Yes, there will be more fights to this. If you can't imagine yourself beating this, then yeah, just imagine with higher difficulty. Yeah, that sounds like fun. For sure. In all seriousness, though, I'm going to be able to skillfully craft a team to carefully waltz my way through these fights regardless, so I'm going to still be able to deal with this. Alright, with that being said, hopefully y'all enjoyed. I have a very chill vibe, chill atmosphere for this video, just because it's not really something that I'm taking super seriously here, because this fight was pretty simple for me to go ahead and defeat. Not like the 5 elders I'm facing or going to be facing in the future with how beautifully drawn they are, for sure. Oh my gosh, they are beautifully drawn by the boy Gege Akutami. I can still not get over this alternate arts. I'm still reeling from that One Piece card game reveal, but that's neither literally nor here nor there. Anyways, I'll get on out of here. Hopefully you enjoyed, and until next Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, all these fights are they're pretty tough. I ain't even gonna say they're alright, because they are tough. They are tough for freaking sure. The goats are here though, and of course the goats are going to carry me through the other battle of the fusions for sure, because even though they aren't on the fusion category themselves, they are still good enough to go ahead and run as a friend leader on that team for sure, because you can have a team full of fused fighters. So I can go ahead and get something like fused fighters, and then let's go ahead and say fusion. I want a team like this. Boom. Obviously these two I feel like I could go ahead and have the new Gohan on this team. We can try it, and then something like this, and then this. Yeah. But I need to. Let's actually go see if he. Let's see his super attack again. I have his Gotenks. Let me see his super attack. It's an other super. Okay, it is another super. That's quite important. That's actually quite important. That is quite important. That is quite important for me to go ahead and know here. I guess I'll just put this Gogeta right here. Okay, I'll get on interview. This has been a good video, but with that being said, hopefully y'all enjoyed it. And until next time, bye. Well, looks like I'm gonna use this guy in the upcoming videos for sure, so stay tuned for that. And with that being said, let's all enjoy the Global Dokkan campaign.